Okay, Basi, Legani, they're complaining it's too close. Yes, good. Okay, Basi, Legani, Mem Gim. Shh. Never fails. Hello?
Anybody home?
Okay, Basi, Legani, Tavshim, Mem Gimel, Eis Dalid. We're on top of page Chav Tes in these booklets. Okay, now the last thing the Rebbe is asking, why is it that in the level of mata adin tachlis, which means that Lukus comes down even not only into the worlds of Bria, Tzir, and Asiya, but even to Klipas Nega, and even more so into Klipas Shalosh Kibsat Tmeis, and even to the worst level of Parei, whose whole existence was dependent on Yaakov Avinu's bracha, yet he says, I made the Nile, I made myself, and so on and so forth. So then the Rebbe asks, why is there more explanations, why is there a lot of talk about the concept of mata anin tachlis, that a lukus comes all the way down, and more than l'mayla anin ketz. So the Rebbe starts explaining that the stako b'raisa bara alma. So therefore, in order for everything another to exist, it has to be first in Torah. So therefore, everything Hashem created in the world, He created for His kavod. And He says, what the Baal Shem Tov said, this is where we left off. Baal Shem Tov said, on the pasuk Sur Meirav Asei Tov, simply means turn away from evil and do good. But the Baal Shem Tov said, turn away from evil, V'asei, and make the evil into Tov, into good transformation. V'hainu, okay, we'll start at the top of the page. V'hainu, Shema Shekos, Sur Meirav, is Rakas Cholos Avodah. Turning away from evil, meaning breaking evil, is only the beginning of the Avodah. Avol Shleim is Avodah, the complete level of Avodah. Is not only turning away from evil, el asay, to make from the evil to make good, meaning sheyas, which is the level of his hapcha, chasheichel, transformation of darkness to light, umeridu lemiska, and bitterness to sweetness, or in the expression of halachas, denis nasle kazachias. Okay, now. The Rebbe is explaining like this. In order, Hashem created the world by looking into Torah. What's the purpose of creation of the world? To elevate evil. And that's what he's explaining now. The ultimate purpose of creation, is the ultimate level is Asei Tev, to make the world into a good, make Klipa into Kedusha. So he says that's the whole Avodah, and that comes from Torah. So he says, like the Gemara tells a story. Actually, those blankets, so to speak, that the prostitute gave him in a forbidden way, it became transformed to Kedusha. Meaning, this is the eternal lesson for every single Jew. We have the ability, in other words, the fact that Hashem wants this in creation, that the purpose of creation is transforming world to Kedusha, that means every single Jew is given the ability to transform bad into good. It's understood without the Rebbe brings down in the Holy Sefer of Tanya, Tachten in the level of low, Shein Tachten Lamati Mimenu, that there can't be anything lower, which includes even the lowest of levels, like he said, is the level of mata adin tachlis, that even in Shalosh Kibsat Tmeis, over there we make a dira b'tachteinim, shegam beitzarach lifal inyan adira. We also have to make the level of the home for Hashem. Okay, so through transforming to good. So the Rebbe is explaining now. Now he's starting to ask a question. The ultimate purpose is the transformation of evil to good. Now, obviously, that's the challenges that a person has. It's a big challenge to take evil and transform evil to good. So the Rebbe is going to ask now, but every day in davening we ask, don't bring, if that's the ultimate purpose of creation, to have the challenges of evil and transforming evil to Kedusha, but why do we daven every day? Don't bring me to a test. Don't give us tests. So he said, seemingly it's not understood. We daven every day. Don't in brachas, right? Don't bring us to a test. Habakosh and Hashem always answers the request. How is it possible then for a Jew to be able to have this avodah of transforming evil to good when we're asking Hashem, don't give us a test? So Hashem answers the request, obviously, when we daven, He answers. Especially what it says in the Zohar and the Pasuk. And this week's Parsha, not next week's. Bayal Parei, the Pasuk says, come to Parei. Okay? There's two expressions in Hebrew. He says, Lech means go to Parei. Bay means come to Parei. When you say come, it means come with me. Otherwise I would say, go to Parei. Come means, in English, come with me to Parei. So when Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Bay al Parei, a lot of times, by the way, it says Lech al Parei. Over here it says Bay al Parei. Amir Rab Shimon, so Rab Shimon says in the Zohar, Maksiv Bay al Parei, Lech al Parei mi boile. The pasuk should have said Lech al Parei, go to Parei. Why does Rab Shimon ask? Why does it say Bay al Parei? My boy. What it means is Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, come, I'm taking you room into room into room. Like it says, in the external levels. That's what they explained to Zohar. What rooms are we talking about? Not rooms of Kedusha. Hashem says to Moshe, come, I'm going to take you in room within room within room. And Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid. You want to take me into these rooms of Parei Klipa? I'm afraid. Moshe, since when Hashem saw Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid, so then Hashem said to him, don't worry about it. Come, I'm going to bring you to Parei, this big snake that thinks he's super, super great. The Kodesh Baruch is okay? And he explains now, what does this mean? And he says, even after Hashem told him, go to Parei, the Zohar say Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid to go. That means even after Moshe Rabbeinu, Hashem said to him, don't go to the pits, go. And Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid. And Hashem said, you're right. You can't go yourself. It's dangerous. And Hashem said, I'm coming with you. He said, okay. So he said, this is the level of coming down, 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 down. What does Hashem tell Moshe Rabbeinu? The avodah of the Jew is to go into level of klipa after level of klipa after level of klipa. And Moshe Rabbeinu is afraid to go. Hashem says, you're not going alone. Like the Rabbi used to tell people, I'm going with you. What are you afraid of? The Mab'eim is Shazol Tafkid. Shenit and Lanchi Achayel. This is the mission given to the soldiers. So the Rebbe is explaining this concept of mata mata adding tachlis means that the avodah of the Jew is to elevate the lowest of the lowest of the lowest level. Not only world, klipa, not only klipa's noga, shosh klipa tzatmeis, and in shosh klipa tzatmeis, the klipa of Parei, who's the head of klipas Mitzrayim. Klipas Mitzrayim itself was shosh klipa tzatmeis, complete tumah. And Moshe Rabbeinu is the head, Parei Melech Mitzrayim is the head of that. And what Hashem's telling Moshe Rabbeinu, you're not doing this alone.
Without Hashem's help, this is impossible.
There's a pasuk in Tilim, Tzefer Asher Latzaka Mevakesh Lamisei. So the Gemara says that the Yetzer Hara is looking at what the pasuk means is, and then the pasuk continues, Hashem le'yazvena b'yadei. Hashem won't let him. So the Gemara says, the Gemara explains the pasuk, Tzefer Asher Latzaka Mevakesh Lamisei. The Yetzer Hara wants to kill the Nefesh Elokis. The Yetzer Hara wants to kill the Nefesh Elokis. And if Hashem wouldn't help the Nefesh Elokis, he wouldn't be able to overcome the Nefesh Habamis. Behema is strong. Yeah, I'm not
13 years older.
Not only 13 years older. At Behema, if you have a fight between, we're learning those dinim now on the damages, yeah, the mitzvah. If you have a fight between a cow and a person, an ox and a person, usually the ox wins.
Not with me.
No comment. I could comment, but it's on tape. I don't want to. So in other words, the Nefesh Habamis is stronger than the Nefesh Elokis. So how does it work? Because a little bit of light dispels a lot of darkness. So a little bit of Kedusha pushes away the klipa of the Nefesh Habamis. But the Rebbe is saying that the ultimate goal of the soldiers, because the Rebbe says, in order for that to happen, the king throws out the treasures. Remember, and who is that primarily for? It goes to the generals, but it's for the foot soldiers to win the battle. And the Rebbe is explaining that's the avoid of the Jew in Tzivus Hashem, in the army in the Milchama of Hashem. The avoid of the Jew is to elevate mata adin tachlis. That means the ultimate level of evil has to be transformed to Kedusha.
Why does Hashem have to say, I'm coming with you? Because he's always with us, right? This is just a different level, then he's coming with us.
Good point. Hashem is always with us. But when we need more help, he's
With us more?
there more there.
You have to ask.
Huh?
You have to ask.
Doing it is asking. Talk is cheap. Doing, say Hashem come with me, that's nothing. When you do it, then Hashem is coming with you. The king is throwing out the treasures of power and might to be able, but you got to go to the war. You can't sit home and expect to get the king's treasures to lay in bed and go to sleep. You know, when you go to battle, that's the way it's done.
Rabbi, at what point Moshe knew who he was? At what point he got that he's coming from the higher level? Like, I don't understand me. At what point?
What point? I don't know. I guess Hashem told him at the burning bush.
Does he have the power to kill the Egyptians with his thought?
Well, his words. Legani he killed him with words. But, that's what Rashi says in the Medrash. But, when did he know his greatness? I don't know. I wasn't there.
Rabbi, my point is, like people like the Rebbe, people that are like all these people that come from the higher level, do they know that they came from the higher level or eventually, like we grow, will they grow also?
You want to know about me? You want to know about me and you? I could talk. When they know their things, I don't know. The Rebbe once said that even Mashiach doesn't even know he's Mashiach until Hashem says, "Reveal yourself."
Yaakov's there, but he doesn't know it.
Yeah. Okay, so he says now in Hey, V'yuvin al pi Torah Samagid. Now he brings on the Mizrach Magid. We understand this on the Torah of the Magid. On Pasuk Laman Shisi, I used to say Ele Bekirbe, which is at the beginning of Parshas Bari, that Hashem said, Bayal Pare, that I should put my miracles amongst Pare. Hashem wanted to elevate all the sparks of Mitzrayim that came from the Shviras HaKelim. Remember, so we learned many times, in the world of Teo, there was Shviras HaKelim, simply the dishes broke, I mean the kelim broke, and all the sparks, rapach nitzutzim, 288 sparks came down into the world. Now, in the time of Mitzrayim, we learned when the Yidden left Mitzrayim, it says, V'gam erev rav ola itam. So it says there are 288 sparks that fell in Shviras HaKelim. Now, when the Yidden left Mitzrayim, because Mitzrayim had all the money of all the world, so basically they had the sparks of all the world. So when the Jews left Mitzrayim, erev rav taruvis, a mixture of Kedusha and the Klipa of 202. So the Yidden left Mitzrayim with 202. The end of Parshas Bay. And there's 86 left to do, and that's the Gematria Elokim. Remember we learned that, where do you get this Cheshbon 288 from? So the Alter Rebbe says that, it says in the Pasuk, V'ruach Elokim merachefes. Up there, that was giving in a creation, right? The Spirit of Hashem hovered over the water. Mirapeches begins with a mem and ends with a suf, which is mace, dead, and the middle letters are rapach. So the rapach nitzutzis came down from the breaking of Tehu. Just to clarify one thing, it didn't happen 5,783 years ago. Tehu is above time and place. So there's a level in Elokus which is constantly, the sparks of Tehu are coming down. But coming back to this moment, the Rebbe is saying that Pari wanted to elevate all the nitzutzis of Mitzrayim. Hainu, kol advarim abetem shel Pari. V'shal Mitzrayim are the level of Eises. Eisesai is not only wonders, but Eises. Hashem. Did I say Pari? I'm sorry. Hashem wanted to elevate. By the way, I forgot to mention, the class today is sponsored by Dr. Shmuel Akaka for Habib Ben Shlomo. Shamash Evan Aliyah. Okay, Hainu Kodvar Metem Shal Parvi Shal Mitzrayim Ar Eisius. B'zeh Yabiru, that's the refinement, Shehichnes Adiburim. V'Eisius Eile B'Teira. You take all these letters and sparks of Mitzrayim, you put them into Teira, V'Asemehem Tzirav Shal Kedusha. And that's why, again, Hashem looked into Torah and created the world. That's the letters of Torah. Now the letters represent the different sparks of Kedusha. So we take the letters, Shisi Eisisai Eila, my Eisis, not only my wonders and miracles, my letters, and the Biru Shalahem, and that's what it says, Man Shisi Eisisai Eila, which means Eisis Shalat Shvira. The letters, meaning the sparks of Kedusha that came from Shviras HaKelim of Tehu, have to refine them through Torah. Why? Why? In order to elevate the sparks into Torah, there would be missing many sipurim that would not be written in Torah, and all the sparks wouldn't be refined. In other words, like this. This pasuk boy simply, the Zohar says Bayal Pari because Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid to go, to go into Klipa but simply the Valaturniv says in the word Bayal Pari, why does Taka say Boy and not Leich? So he says Bay is Aleph is 3. 2 and 1 is 3. So it says because in Parshas Bay there's 3 makas left. So Hashem is hinting to Moshe Rabbeinu Bayal Pari there's 3 plagues left. So the Rebbe is saying over here, in this pasuk it says, I want to put the letters of Torah, meaning the sparks of refinement, in the Klipa of Mitzrayim. And therefore you have to bring 3 more makas, because otherwise you have a whole parsha boy would be missing. And they'll be missing all those letters of Torah. And if all those letters of Torah would be missing, you wouldn't have the sparks elevated. That's what the Maggid says. You have to elevate the sparks. So Hashem had to create 3 more miracles to be able to bring the stories in Torah through the letters of Torah. In other words, through Torah and mitzvahs, you elevate all the sparks that fell in the world from Shviras HaKelim. That means when you learn Torah and you learn about cows or agriculture or people, whatever. So if you learn about animals, when you learn Torah, dinam of animals, you're elevating animals. When you learn about agriculture, you're elevating all the sparks in agriculture. Now, learning Torah is not as direct elevation as when you take the physical plant and you do a mitzvah with it. Or you take the physical animal and you make a tefillin out of it. So you have, but Torah also is elevating the world.
First there was Bo, then it was Mako. We had Bo already. Hashem looked into the Bo, in Bo and make the Mako.
No, it doesn't say, but many times it says Lecha Pare.
Hashem looked into Torah and made the whole world.
Correct. So every action that happens in the world is coming through Torah. No.
First there was Bo, and then afterwards Mako came.
No. The markets came and then he said bye. Oh, okay.
Rabbi, did Paro eventually repented?
Pare, it says when